Good morning, this is Vicki.
And this is Jo.
And we're the Two Natural Ladies.
And we talk about the good news we all need and ways of getting the most out of life.
We help people with practical, uplifting ways we can all make a difference.
And we're striving for better, not perfect.
And we love a good laugh. Please enjoy the show.
That's a lovely song.
It is.
And it speaks, it transcends the ages and speaks to all sorts of topics, doesn't it?
It does.
Yes.
It does, yes. And I love that Anne-Marie saw it as the sharing part of it, which I thought that was great. It was a different take.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say about food. I happened to watch the Graham Norton show last night and Jaime Oliver was on. And he writes books, obviously, about food and cooking, and his latest book, and I don't know the name of it, but he had looked at the 18 most popular foods in the UK that will be in somebody's fridge or in their pantry and created all these different recipes from that. And I thought that's exactly what Anne-Marie's talking about, about finding ways to use what you've already got in your cupboards and making food. So I thought it might be worth looking at he's talking UK, but the other thing was that it was quite interesting that, things like sweet potato was on that list. So that's become, much more popular than it certainly was in the, a long time ago.
Well, and due to the wonderful advice from Sandra, who we've had on the show, and she's a doggy myotherapist, but also she's gone into doggy nutrition. And so I had a consultation with her because I know she is of the belief that we're not feeding our animals well. And so we've completely transformed how we feed our animals. But my husband was fossicking through the fridge the other day to see what he could provide. So we give them a bit of meat, but then we zhuzh up in the blender vegetables and fruit. And so he was just finding, it wasn't terribly old, but stuff that we probably wouldn't eat anymore. And so he zhuzhed it up and chucked it in with a tin of tuna and they all
wolfed it down.
They did, yes. We're hiding veggies in their meat like they're little kids.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, because I do remember her saying that vegetarian, you can't, particularly dogs can't be pure vegetarians, but of course that doesn't mean they can't eat veggies and fruit.
Exactly, yes. Yes, well, and last night we happened to have a couple of pizza bases. I tend to buy some pizza bases because we'll make our own pizza at least once a week. And we had roast veggies. And so we had roast veggie pizza.
Beautiful. Yum, yum, yum.
So, yes. And what I wanted to do a shout out for Good-Edi.
Yes.
We want to, because it's all over our social media and we're going to reshare and boost and do whatever we can because they're on a time limit. They're crowdfunding for their edible compostable coffee cup that's made in Melbourne, or will be made in Melbourne, if we can help them get over the line. I think they've only got about 2 weeks left.
23rd of December.
Yes, for their crowdfunding campaign, and I think they're at about 60-something%, so around 90,000, and they need 140,000. So we really, really, really want to support them in getting there, because I think every one of us in Melbourne could be using this cup when we're taking away our tea and coffee. 1
billion cups per year just in Australia. And that's, so the difference we can make is huge to the plastic problem, and so much better for us to be drinking out of, something edible than plastic. It just ticks all the boxes.
Absolutely. And we've donated to have a cuppa with the founders.
Yes, absolutely. So goodedi.com.au.
Good-Edi.
Sorry, yes.
Good, GOOD-EDI.
.com.au would be fabulous if you could go along and just donate something and share and get this out and get it happening
And just go to our socials if you need to find them. We're Facebook. There.
Yes.
Facebook and
LinkedIn.
And what is it? The other one?
Instagram. Yeah. Oh, look, the whole thing about waste. My husband's been buying Rose's chocolates because they've been on special, and he knows I like Cadbury's chocolate. And I could just eat a few, but I'm opening them up and I'm going, oh my God, the amount of waste that I've got just here. And, I won't buy, if like when the kids were younger, I did at one point buy those little individual chip packets and things like that. And then it was like, no, I'm going to buy the whole pack and then put them in plastic containers or, reusable plastic containers or glass containers, and they can take them to school and, eat them and bring back the container and wash it and then reuse it. And in fact, I actually made popcorn because they love popcorn. So I'd make popcorn and put them in the containers and they'd take them to school. But, it's just something so simple that you just not even thinking, and then all of a sudden you go, oh my gosh. And I love the idea of taking my containers and saying, can I get, some food, some meat or whatever it is you're buying, but then put it into your containers. I mean, that's what my grandmothers used to do.
Yeah, we're kind of going full circle here.
So, yes. And then we looked at Tanya Lewis's website.
Ah, yes.
And she told us ways to declutter the car, which makes sense because, hopefully, well, not hopefully, we're all going to be able to drive around. I mean, you're off to Echuca and Dramana, and so, you're going to need to look at how to declutter your car.
Oh, okay. Yes. So is your car the rolling control central? What? There you go.
As in, is that where everything is located, Yes.
Everything organised, sorted and carried out from the car, picking up and dropping off kids to school. Yeah, well, elderly parents to appointments and running your business for your car. Yes. Everyday occurrences, yet along the way we add things or stuff to our cars. When I was in the car all the time with the kids, and the kids were piling it up with their stuff. Yes, it was quite cluttered. So, yes, and the stuff for just in case moments. Yes, well, that's what I find my bags get like as well.
Yes.
Might need this and I might need that. And now we've added hand sanitizer and mask to that. So we add more weight to the car, which is interesting. Never thought of that one.
No, that's right, which then, of course, means you use more fuel.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's also dangerous because all those things that have gone under the seat and, that you have on your, that they're actually flying implements if you have an accident.
Well, that's true. And, there's been times where, not now, but years ago, I would get into the car and I'm like, what is that smell? Yeah. Yes. And then I find a salami sandwich under the seat that's been there for I don't know how long. Yes.
Fortunately, I didn't have that very much because I grew up with a mother who had always had a plastic bag in the front seat, and I've always got a plastic bag in the front seat. So as soon as anybody's finished, I mean, it did happen occasionally.
Yes.
But generally it was like, give me your waste. It went into the plastic bag. So
you're good.
Yes.
Yes. We had for some unknown reason, I need to talk to this car manufacturer. We had those pull down trays in the back seat. But it wasn't one where the cup could sit in it. The cup would just sit on the tray.
Oh, no.
So, and I'd bought the kids smoothies.
Oh, no.
And the youngest had put her, and then I moved the car and splat all over the car.
Oh, gosh. And that's,
it's almost as difficult as sick in the car, which has happened too.
Yes.
Actually, my husband was Uber driving for a while, and he's got a bucket in. We've got a big space in between the two front seats, so he's put a square bucket there, which is a bin, but also doubles as, here you go. If you're feeling sick, put this bucket underneath your chin.
Of course, yes. At
Uber driving
midnight or yes,
on a
got
Saturday
it.
night.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes. So also rethinking your roof racks and tow bars because they add weight. So if you don't really need a tow bar, sometimes you buy a car and it's got a tow bar on it. And if you don't need it, take it off. And yes, do a health check on your car as well because if your car's healthy, then it will actually work better and use less fuel again. So, check the tread on your tyres and check your windscreen washer reservoir and your coolant levels. Not that I would even know how to do that, but I'm sure,
Ask somebody. Ask a friend.
Yes. Well, I do have a friend and a son who's a car mechanic, so yes, and he's about to finish his apprenticeship, which is very exciting. So, yes, so I can definitely ask him.
Yes, and then as you have mentioned, adding a waste bag to the car. It says for long trips, but any chips, really. Chips. It says chip packets here.
Yes.
Buy Coles.
Yes.
What? Earn? What?
So these are places, so you can recycle your PET bottles, and these are places that you can do it. Earn and Return New South Wales, Containers for Change Queensland, Container Deposit Scheme South Australia, ACT Container Deposit Scheme. Notice there isn't one for Victoria.
And chip packets.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So Reg Cycle via Coles and Woolworths. Oh, is that the one where the other soft plastics can go?
It must include chip packets, yes. Yeah.
Because aren't they more foil?
Yes. Well, I did wonder about that.
Oh, well, maybe your roses wrappings could be
yes.
recycled.
Yeah, well, but I'm not doing that anymore.
Well, no, as Anne-Marie pointed out, that's the last resort is recycling.
Right. Yes.
So that was a good point of hers, reducing more than even your compost, which I love to rave about my compost, but I should reduce first.
Yes.
Because the worms are pretty fat.
Yes.
They're pretty happy.
Yes. And there will be the the peels and the things that you will have to. So yes. Yeah, where you can just reduce.
Well, and we have a big yard. We have a big garden, and it's most of it's edible garden in our backyard. So we have a big use for compost.
That's right.
We have 2 bins,
yes.
2 compost bins.
Wow.
Yeah. So and we need them. Yes. So if I was in a smaller place, or if I just had a balcony garden and a small worm farm, it wouldn't cope with a lot of waste.
No.
So there you go.
No, and I must admit, when she talked about chickens, your head was thinking,
wasn't
it? I thought,
we've talked about chickens a lot. Yes.
Well, there you go. We might see eggs coming.
Constant supply.
Yes, that would be wonderful. Yes. So yes, car batteries can be recycled. And you can earn $10 to $20 per battery. So find a recycle point. Search recycle batteries near me. For cars that work, but you don't. Oh, this is a great idea. And one of my son's girlfriends did this. She had a car. It was still working. It was very old. She wanted a new car, and she gave the car away to an organisation to give to somebody that needed a car.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah. So, you can even recycle your car.
You can. Thanks, Tanya, for those tips.
Yes.
You've been listening to the Two Natural Ladies podcast. Visit twonaturalladies.com.au for more information. Thanks for joining us.